Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and that was the backdrop for my granddaughter's wedding, which was held here in the backyard of my son's house. And of course, the wedding is over, and they were wondering what to do with that backdrop. And somebody suggested, why don't we replace the view that's out in the front of the little addition that my son built for us? And you can see right there, there's a cow pasture and cow fences, and so it's okay for our front yard, but they thought maybe they could beautify it just a little bit with that fence that has no place else to live. And so this video is about taking those sections of fence and screwing them to the metal fence around the neighbor's cow pasture and improving the view, and also creating some privacy between our residents and theirs. They have quite a few little boys. I think they have 3 boys, and they have a lot of fun outside screaming and yelling and stuff. I don't know if the fence is going to muffle that at all, but it is going to give us a much nicer view. Well, my wife had a bunch of her antique yard... watch out for that tree in the corner there. My wife had a bunch of her antique yard art sitting on that river rock. We ordered the river rock, had it brought in to make some kind of a yard type, what would you call it, feeling in front of our little house. And there went my wife into that door over there. She was out talking to somebody. And so we put the river rock in, and she put her antique yard art on it. Some of that yard art my son welded up, making lizards and all kinds of things by welding pieces of junk metal together. And so now they've got to move the river rock to get it back out of the way, because the bottom of the fence section is going to drop down to where it would be below the level of the river rock that we filled in there. So that's what they're doing. And of course, that young lady that's helping my son, that's my granddaughter, who got married just a couple of weeks ago. And of course, my son and his wife had 2 girls and 1 boy. The first 2 were girls. And then the little boy, my grandson, who you'll see later in this video. Anyway, that was Anna there that is helping. And she was the firstborn. And of course, my son, as you know, doesn't just sit on his behind. He's busy making things and working. And so she hung out with him enough that she became, she's not a tomboy, that's for sure. She was very beautiful, as you will see in her wedding pictures, which I still am gathering in order to put together a wedding video showing the wedding and the things that went on. They had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time all day long. We had over 100 people come to the wedding, and everybody was out there in the backyard, and before and after the wedding, and of course, the dancing and rejoicing went on until, after 10 o'clock at night. And they had a big barn fire in the backyard there. And so it was a lot of fun. And everybody that came was glad they did. So here they're getting that first section lined up so that they can get it screwed to the metal fence. Now, the metal fence is not square with the world, and those fence sections are not square with the rest of the world. So it wasn't real easy, as you'll see in the video. It wasn't real easy to get everything lined up nice and square. But what he did was, you'll see, he uses his 2 tools. First of all, he drills a hole through the wood and into the metal railing up there. And then he has some lag screws that are tough enough steel that not only do they go through the wood, but they go into the metal. They make their own threads and stay in the metal fence. And so now he's putting the lag screw in, and he'll screw the wooden fence to the metal fence. And so I spent about I actually ran I ran on the same battery all day as I made these videos, and the last part of this video my battery was going dead. And so here they come up now with the second section, and as you can see, they had to cut about 6 inches off of the bottom in order to line up the 2x3 on the back of the fence section with the metal railing at the top of the metal fence, and still have some room at the bottom without sitting on the dirt. So that's what those little pieces of 6-inch sections were. But anyway, I can't remember now what I was saying because I'm getting old and forgetful, but this is the second section. Oh yes, when they were putting up that last section, I didn't show it, but when we get that far down the line, as they were putting it up, I was getting down to about say 12, 11%. And then when it gets down to 10%, with the DJI Mini 2, well, then it says it's going to land. And you can overcome that. But I was all through, and so I just thought, well, I'll just bring it over to the front porch of our little addition there. And by the time I got to the front porch, it wasn't quite there when it started to land, so I should have kept that in the video, but I didn't. Anyway, it just shows me skidding into the concrete and landing on the concrete gracefully. So he's putting up this section, and actually, maybe we'll see. I can't remember if I left that out or not, but they had to replace that one screw. It didn't go in as well as they had planned it to. And so here we go again. He's going to drill a hole. Looks like he didn't have the drill. He had to drill too far into the bit. There it went. And then he takes his other screw shooter and puts the lag bolt in. And of course, anywhere there was a vertical section, like you can see in the lower left of the picture here, those vertical sections, he put several screws vertically going down those. I think like 3 or so, and so that the fence wouldn't be blown out away from the wooden fence wouldn't be blown out away from the metal fence when we have these heavy winds around here. Hopefully, we won't have any more like we had last. Well, let's see, it's a little over a year ago now. We had winds that blew down telephone lines, telephone poles, power poles, and did all kinds of damage. And he was in the process of putting together this little addition that we're talking about, where is just in the right side of the picture there, and the roof wasn't totally finished, and so it ripped it up, and I've got a video on that in my channel too. But anyway, it was a sad day, heavy rain and wind, and ruined the roof. But within 24 hours, he had the new roof up, and replaced the old one that was all wrinkled, and so. As you can see, he was having a hard time getting that to be just the way he wanted it. And so they got that up, that's section 2. And then they put in section 3, and I didn't cover everything that they did on that. I was running out of time on battery. And now this is where my grandson came back from a little outing with his other granddad. And he got some French fries and wanted to share them with his dad. And so that was nice of him. So anyway, this is the last section, and I know that they're glad that it's it's the last section, because they worked hard. And I tried to lift one of those sections, and I had the strength, but I have a very sore right wrist from an accident, and I couldn't do much to be of any help. But they got it in, and they're all finished with it, and it looked really nice when they were finished, and I'm really happy with it, and so is my sweetheart, and so is my son. And there it is. I want to thank you for watching my videos as always, and God bless.